Thank you, Nadim. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I had prepared a big speech and a big presentation, but unfortunately we had to cut it a bit short for technical reasons. But I'm trying to be as thorough as I can and give you like bits and pieces about what we're building at Wafeq. So before we dive into what's new, I want to take a minute to talk to you about why we are building what we're building. As you know, there's a lot of noise in software, specifically in SaaS. We noticed that there are lots of promises of greatness, like helping you really automate things and release things quicker, save time and money. But you know that the reality, if you're in accounting, is much more complex than that. It's not as simple if you've worked with accounting workflows. Accountants need time and time again like real tools that fix real problems, not just gimmicks that promise to that this is the next trend that's going to solve things for you. So that we're trying to build tools that solve real friction points, not just on a landing page, but inside the day-to-day basis. So for example, the reconciliation steps, the approvals that go in circles, the bill you entered but forgot to pay, the report that someone sent that doesn't match the actual recorded journals. Yeah, so that's the kind of stuff we really obsess about at Wafeq. We're product people, and we don't chase features because they're trendy or because they're shiny, but because we felt the same pain. As Nadim have noticed, Wafeq started from that specific pain points. And we think software should do more of the heavy lifting without getting in your way. So we've spoken to hundreds of accountants. Many of us come from finance-heavy roles ourselves. And what we've learned is that if you build the right tools, carefully, thoughtfully, with a real process in mind, people will trust you. They rely on you. And when that happens, you owe it to them to keep going, to keep fixing what's broken, to keep showing up. And that's why we're here today. What you're going to see in the next few minutes are not just features, they're answers to real problems. Problems we've all seen and some of us have lived. So let's get into it. I will start with one of the most common frustrating problems in finance ops, that's paying suppliers. You'd think it would be simple. You approve a bill, you pay it. But in reality, that step, actually sending money, is still one of the most broken parts of the workflow. You go from accounting software to your bank account to log in, to double check the details, authorize the payments, wait, then come to reconcile, and probably do that over and over again. Multiply that by dozens of suppliers, and it's dozens of hours of manual work. So we looked at that and asked, why should it be all like that at all? You're already doing all the full cycle of your payables inside Wafeq. So why not just complete it inside there as well? This is why we built payout automations, so you can now initiate and complete payouts directly inside Wafeq. No more exporting bills, hopping between tabs, or waiting on someone on another platform to confirm a transfer. Everything happens in Wafeq end-to-end. It's a full approval-based workflow that brings together control, flexibility, and real-time execution. So how does it work? Every payout starts as a payment request. It's not just a one-click button. It's a structured request that goes through 3 layers of permissions. A submission, where the user initiates the payment request. Approval, where someone with the right role reviews and validates the request. A release, the final step where funds are actually sent. You can create a payment request in 2 ways. As part of a bill payment flow, once a bill is recorded and due, for example here, you can see you can just pay through bank, or as an ad hoc payment directly from the connected bank account with payout capabilities. For example, the bank accounts page. And here's where it gets really efficient. The whole process is asynchronous and batched. That means you can queue up payment requests throughout the week and then have someone in charge log in, review them all from a single interface, and bulk approve or release them, depending on the bank's capabilities. So as you can see here, you have a payment request table where you can queue up, batch select, approve, or release. The current supported geographies are UAE, and KSA. With UAE, we have WIO and HSBC. WIO through the SME and enterprise tiers using a WIO business account. And in KSA, with SABB and Rajhi, only through an enterprise plan with Wafeq. And now this is really like my favorite part in the whole payout flow, and this is the auto-reconciliation. So Wafeq, once you release Wafeq, automatically will fetch back and reconcile the transaction against your books. No need to go back later and manually match entries or search for confirmations. It's smooth, accurate, and done. By the way, later today, Ankit from WIO will come in and demo the full WIO Wafeq integration in detail. Let's shift gears and talk about something that's not about accounting workflows, but still a huge friction for accounting firms. Managing subscriptions for all your clients. Let's take the example of accrual accounting. Accrual accounting has 450 clients. They have to manage 450 subscriptions. Imagine if they have to just replace one thing in the subscription, like update a credit card on file. They would have to update it for each subscription. And worse, there's no centralized place to see which card is used where. It's a guessing game, a painful one. And if you're managing dozens or even hundreds of organizations, you have also the visibility issue. Maybe you want to know which card was used, which subscription is active, which ones are new or need to be renewed, or which ones are past due. So we built the billing account. It's a central billing setup that lets firms like accrual accounting view all clients they manage in one place. Control how the subscription, control how each subscription is paid, keep their billing methods centralized and clean, and have the subscription invoices issued in the name of the managing organization for proper VAT reclaim. So how does it work? Once enabled by your account manager, you'll see a new option in Wafeq's org dropdown, which is at the top left, called and labeled Manage Subscriptions. Once you open it, you'll find a list for all the orgs for which you are an admin. And you can then filter to help you narrow by renewal date, country, or subscription status, whether they're active, trialing, past due, or canceled, and a quick view of each organization's current plan, as you can see, whether they're subscribed or not. And for each one, you can decide if you want to keep the original billing account for that org, or switch to use your firm's billing account so that all charges come through your own card and are centrally managed for all the clients who use that billing account. Okay, let's switch now to something that's become front and center for every UAE business and part of today's big theme, corporate tax. For the first time, companies operating here are required to report and pay tax on their profits with a 9% rate applied beyond certain income thresholds. It's a major shift and brings lots of questions, specifically how to prepare the books and calculate taxable income accurately. The reality is that most businesses don't think about corporate tax until the very end. They go through the year booking expenses and revenue as usual. Then when tax season comes around, someone has to go back, sometimes transaction by transaction, and figure out what was deductible, what was exempt, and what wasn't. It's tedious, error-prone, and burns time on something that could have been captured much earlier and more intelligently. But that approach creates problems. It's rigid. Transactions don't always fit nearly into account boxes. It limits your ability to mix deductible and non-deductible items in the same account. And it forces you to design your chart of accounts around tax and not around business logic. In Wafeq, we took a different approach, one that's flexible, contextual, and baked directly into the way you already work in Wafeq. Our approach is control at entry, clarity at reporting. Let's start with how tax relevance is captured in Wafeq. It's done in two places: at the account level in the chart of accounts, and at the line item level where you're booking transactions. At the account level, each account is assigned a default tax behavior based on its classification. For expense accounts, you can choose whether it's fully deductible, 50% deductible, or non-deductible, as you can see in the bottom right, like mid-right. For revenue accounts, the options are taxable or not taxable exempt. These are preset options that keep things consistent and avoid confusion. We did not want to have the possibility, at least for now, to put input boxes where you might go into adding percentages that aren't accurate. So for the time being, this is our approach to having like a yes, no, exempt or not exempt. And while we're here, I'll just quickly mention the important update we're releasing this week, today maybe even, which is the revamped chart of account experience, which unlocks tremendous flexibility in how you build your chart of accounts and make it work for your business. And this screenshot is part of the new, basically, release. But back to our corporate tax. So now that it's cleared on the account level, when you're booking transactions, Wafeq autofills the tax treatment at the line item level based on the account's default. And of course, the line item can always override the default when needed, giving you control without slowing you down. This is all visible right where you work, in the sheet view, including purchases, sales, and manual journals documents. You'll find a column labeled corporate tax treatment, which we need to just fix it. This is like a demo day issue. This is where you can review or adjust the setting for each line item directly. As you can see, for each line item, you're able to change the deductibility or taxability based on the drop-downs that we saw earlier. They will be drop-downs and not percentages. So these are the small details that make a big difference to help you capture what matters from the start and saving you from the backtracking later. But what about reporting? That's where the new corporate tax taxable income report comes in. You'll find it under the tax section in reports. By default, it shows your data by year. But you can choose monthly breakdowns if needed. The structure is simple. We're counting net profit, put directly from your P&L. Then you have your exempt revenue, detailed by account. So all the accounts which were a deductible expense was classified would be listed. The exempt revenue for the income accounts and the non-deductible expenses also by account for the expense accounts. And the resulting line is the total taxable income. Obviously, this comes like with all reports in Wafeq with export availability. You'll be able to export to PDF or Excel all this data. So how do we get started? This feature went live today. It will be live today, actually. It'll be enabled for all organizations in the UAE. So what we've showed today is just a fraction of what we're working on. I wanted to show more productivity features like Ayman mentioned, for example, before about OCR, which is a de facto thing that should be available for all accounting businesses. But we wanted to take it a bit further, and OCR today is more about how you parse and make sense intelligently of the data, which is what we currently have in Wafeq, but we're taking it still a step further, and this is what we're going to be bringing in the next couple of months, an improved data entry experience that is seamless, so that data entry for bills really is no longer something you think about. So this is really just a fraction of what we're building. We're focusing on the things that can make your life easier, tools that are ready, usable, and built to remove friction. But behind the scenes, we're also building for the long term. Some of those projects take time, and when they're ready, we'll be the first to show you. In the meantime, keep an eye on the roadmap and features request page. We check it regularly, and many of the features you saw today started as ideas from our own users. And if you have a specific question or want to go deeper into something we didn't cover, just come find me. I'd be happy to talk it through and spend some time with you. Thanks again for being here and for helping Wafeq build better. And I'm really sorry about the presentation. I should have come more prepared, but it's just presentation day issues. So I really apologize for not being available all the time. If you have any question, please come find me. Or I think we have time. We have some time. If you have any questions right now, right, Badr? Yeah. Do any of you have any questions about the product in general or about the presentation?
Thank you very much for your presentation. Do you have any more bank feeds coming up in Saudi and also in the UAE?
Good question. I think we should let maybe Nadim handle this. Bank fees are based on really integration with partners and depends on the availability of this with technology providers. So currently in UAE, we have WIO, which is offering a self-serve solution, and HSBC as an enterprise integration. In Saudi, as I mentioned, these are the two available now, but we are we're expanding as the actual financial institutions make available the APIs to be able to integrate with them. It's more an issue from the availability and less from our side. But I'll let Nadim maybe finish on this, or?
Yeah, so as you know, open banking is rolling out in both the UAE and Saudi. So Saudi is a bit more advanced. In Saudi, we will have more bank feeds as there are some solution providers that are almost ready. In the UAE, is a bit slower to roll out open banking. So we don't have a timeline about additional banks, but from what I'm hearing, it's going to be something around Q3 or Q4 to have additional banks, and they will probably all come in Saudi. Most of them will come in one shot, I think, because a lot of banks are already there, much fewer in the UAE.
Hello. Are you planning on expanding to other regions? So, for example, Lean. So we are working in India, UK. They have their hosting requirements that the software should be, hosted locally. So, do you have any plans at the moment?
No, we don't have plans for going beyond this region. So our focus is really the GCC at the moment. And even long term, we don't really have plans to go beyond the region. And that's a big part of our mission, is really to only focus on this region, because then you dedicate all the resources to solve the problems for this region. Things like corporate tax, for example, this is really very local, right? VAT, e-invoicing. If we go to other regions, we're not going to be able to serve our customers here as well as we're serving them.
Hello. First of all, Nadim and the team, well done doing this conference and bringing us here. And this is for accounting firms using your software. It is very important to attend conferences like this, in particular to know what product updates that are coming up. So my question first is there anywhere in the software or on the website where we can see the roadmap of the product updates that you're working on? Second question is, how can we submit our kind of desired features that we would like you to work on? Because we work with you, yeah, we're paying for your subscription, so we are vested in the software to be as much compliant with, not only compliant with FCA, but compliant with requirements that we accounting firms need. We also work with other software, so we can provide you our feedback, and I think that is also quite valuable to you. And third question, last one. Is it possible to do, or maybe you are already doing updates like this, maybe on a quarterly basis, so that we can see that this is what you're working on, and we can also update our clients? Because, for example, we have a question from our client about cash flow report. Direct, indirect, it's still in progress. But I would like to see that you're working on it, and then I can go to my client and say, yes, this is coming up, this is temporary, by the end of, for example, year, it will be there. In the meantime, this is what we can do for you. Because they want results. They want deliverables now. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Ina, for the question. So we do need to do a better job in publishing the roadmap. We do have roadmap.wafeq.com, the website where you see what's in progress and you make feature requests. For accounting partners, it's actually much more direct. We have a usually WhatsApp group. You WhatsApp us, and we get back to you either on a timeline, or if we cannot decide on a timeline, we tell you we don't have a timeline. But for partners like you, the best way is just email us or WhatsApp us, and we'll get back to you. Now I know there's many feature requests that we're in touch with, so that's usually the process. We will improve the roadmap in terms of making sure it is up to date, so that you can check it on a regular basis and know if something is coming or not. Sorry, I forgot your. For quarterly updates, yeah, that's so.
Nadeem, can I add just one more point regarding the roadmap? It's actually important to clarify that the roadmap is also a lot of time driven by user requests. So you request, and the users themselves upvote or downvote, mostly upvote certain features, and this is how we're able to capture really relevance for the users, if this is something that's really important to them or not. And then based on this, we'll usually do some user-based research to reach out to accountants or accounting firms to see how important it is and to capture the nuances and the details of the requested feature. So it's not just something that we decide, it's mainly driven by requests from users themselves. And as Nadeem said, for the accounting firms, they have a dedicated WhatsApp group. But it's important to note, for your specific clients, you can actually incite them, if it's something for their business, incite them to go on the feature request page, to go request something or find something that they find is relevant and upvote it if necessary.
For the quarterly product update, we will have something for partners only. That is it will be an online session. Yeah. Yeah. Although it would be great to see everybody, but it's going to be online, and we'll do it on a quarterly basis. Yeah. We will communicate with you around this.
Yeah, I think we're already. Sorry, we'll get to you next. Just a minute. It's important to note that the updates are already there. I think they're sent. I think every maybe month or 2 months. Maybe recently we haven't been doing maybe a great job at that, but we're releasing updates. But I think in your case you care about the details of the update and how it affects the client more than just the general titles of, let's say, a revamp to the chart of accounts and how it affects how they operate their business. So this is maybe what we need to focus more on specifically for partners, in giving like the big titles and the details of what this means for them, for you, for them, and for all the stakeholders.
Hello, thank you so much. My questions are based on the existing features that we have in Wafeq. I am mostly into generating invoices and quotations. So there are these drawbacks that I have noticed when we have multiple clients in our system, and based on the client's terms and conditions and the bank payment differs. So is there a way that when we create an invoice or create a quotation, where there's a feature that we can select from the options based for that client, the terms and conditions and the bank payment based on the currency that we would want to charge them?
Excellent question. So basically this is in reference to what we call like contact defaults. So what we're building is the ability, we don't have this right now, but we're building it, is the ability for any contact on any document to specify the default, for example, accounts that you would use on the line items to book certain, to classify to, and also to be able to add notes, specifically those fields that you would use to reference contracts. They're on per account basis, and you would be able to save several ones. So you'd be able to switch for that specific one. If you have a preference, you will have a default one that you can use every time. And if for whatever reason you need to override it with another one, you can also change it. So this, hopefully we're going to bring it soon. There's no timeline yet, but this has been requested before. We're working on it, and we'll update you, hopefully, in some a partner newsletter or webinar about its progress.
Yep, last question.
Yeah, hello. in GCC region, especially in the startup domain, what we have seen is that startups from the start go, they create multiple entities in different countries. This is the one pain point where the consolidation and the reporting and everything becomes an issue. Then you have to take multiple subscription, multiple tools may be required to finish, let's say, KSA, UAE, or Qatar, whatever. Is there any plan to introduce multiple entity consolidation and bookkeeping?
So we already have, wouldn't call it, we should probably call it combining multiple financial statements from multiple organizations. It's already available. It does not support eliminating entries, which we understand is very important. It is on the roadmap to have to properly tag intercompany transactions so that they get eliminated on consolidated financial statements. But at the moment, the feature will combine the P&Ls, will combine the balance sheets, and you would have to do the elimination outside Wafeq, so typically in Excel. But we understand it is for slightly, let's say, mid-market companies that have multiple entities, it is an important feature, and I personally want to build it actually for ourselves. So, so hopefully we'll have something this year. We don't have a timeline for it, to be honest, but it is on the roadmap. Yeah. So if there are any additional questions, please come to us and me and Amine.
Please just come. We're here, till the afternoon. So if you have any question regarding product, just come find me, and I'll be happy to answer anything you have.
Yeah. So let's wrap up the first half of this event. So there's a coffee break for 30 minutes, and then we'll be back at 12 to talk about e-invoicing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.